You know how it is, right? Every few months, a new diet rule takes over the internet. Cut this, skip that, fast even longer. And for a week or two, it feels like magic. But then, quietly, months later, it just stops working. And you're left there thinking, what did I do wrong? Well, let's get into it. Because the answer has nothing to do with your willpower. It's about a hidden biological battle that most diets never ever tell you about.
So this is really the big question we need to answer. Why is the failure so confusing? It's almost never this big, loud crash and burn moment. It's more like a slow fizzle, you know? Your progress just stalls, the cravings start creeping back in, and that motivation you had just kind of evaporates, leaving you feeling even more stuck than before. It's this super common, super frustrating experience, and it's why so many of us feel like we're just spinning our wheels.
And this quote right here, it just nails the problem perfectly. The most seductive diet advice isn't the stuff that's obviously nuts. No, it's the advice that gives you a quick, early win. It gives you just enough of a result to make you a true believer. It gets you hooked with that initial taste of success, right before your own biology starts to push back. You think you've found the secret, but really, you've just stepped on a landmine with a really, really long fuse.
So, that brings us to what I like to call the viral diet illusion. This is that honeymoon phase, right? The rules are crystal clear, you feel totally in control, and it really seems like everything is going exactly according to plan. It's an incredibly powerful feeling, and it's precisely why these ideas spread like wildfire on social media. And let's be totally honest, that initial experience is 100% real. You follow the new rule, you cut the carbs, you shrink your eating window, and that number on the scale actually goes down. Wow! That feedback loop is so motivating. It feels like you finally cracked the code, right? Like all those other times you failed, it was just because you didn't know this one simple secret. But what if that early win isn't what you think it is? Okay, so let's peel back that first layer. Here is our first big gotcha moment. If these diets are basically destined to fail, why do they feel so unbelievably effective in those first few weeks? Why do you get that amazing rush of success that gets you so pumped up? Well, the answer has very little to do with the magic of the rule and everything to do with the simple, temporary biological trick.
Okay, this slide is where we see the first huge disconnect. On the left, that's the story we're telling ourselves. I'm burning fat like crazy because of this amazing new rule. But on the right, that's what's actually going on in your body. First, and this is the big one, that initial 5-pound drop you see, it's almost all water. See, for every gram of carbs your body stores, it holds on to about 3 to 4 grams of water. So when you suddenly slash your carbs, whoosh, your body burns through those stores and all that water gets flushed out. It looks awesome on the scale, but it's not real fat loss. It's an illusion. Second, when you cut out entire food groups, you usually, just by accident, cut out a ton of ultra-processed junk. So the win isn't from some complicated rule, it's just that you stopped eating cookies and chips. And finally, some of these extreme approaches can temporarily kill your appetite. It feels like you've suddenly developed iron willpower, but it's really just a short-term hormonal response that, trust me, does not last.
So the bottom line is this. That powerful, exciting, early win is mostly a biological illusion. It's just a temporary side effect of water loss and you accidentally eating fewer calories. It convinces you that the diet is a miracle, but it tells you absolutely nothing about whether it's actually sustainable for your body 6 months from now. It's the hook. All right, let's go to the next layer, because this is where it gets really interesting. Once that initial illusion phase is over, you're not just fighting against water weight anymore. Now you're up against a much older, much more powerful opponent, your body's own survival code. A code that's been perfected over millennia to keep you alive, and frankly, it doesn't care about your summer body goals. We hear about cortisol all the time, right? The famous stress hormone, but that's kind of incomplete. It's much more accurate to call it a survival hormone. Its main job isn't to make you feel stressed. Its job is to keep you alive when your brain thinks you're in danger. It mobilizes energy and tells your body to hang on to its resources. And what does your body see as a huge life or death threat? Scarcity, famine. And this is the core of the problem. Modern diets are just packed with signals that your ancient brain reads as a major threat. Cutting calories too aggressively? That signals a famine. Not sleeping well because you're hungry or anxious? That signals danger. Pounding your body with high-intensity workouts without enough rest? That signals you're constantly running from a predator. Even just the mental stress of trying to be perfect is a threat signal. Your brain can't tell the difference. It just pumps out cortisol to protect you. So when those threat signals just keep coming, your body does something absolutely brilliant to save you. It adapts. This is what we call metabolic adaptation. Your body intelligently slows everything down. It learns to operate on fewer calories, to stop you from starving to death. This isn't your metabolism breaking. This is an incredibly smart survival mechanism. It's a feature, not a bug.
And this lays out the trap perfectly. You start with a rigid rule. Your body perceives this as a threat, so cortisol goes up. That hormonal shift makes you crave high-energy foods, makes you hungrier, and just drains your energy until your survival instincts kick in and you break the rule. But because the diet industry frames this as a moral failing, good foods versus bad foods, you feel this intense guilt. You blame yourself, not the crazy rule. So what do? You decide you just weren't disciplined enough, and you go back to an even stricter rule, starting the whole vicious cycle all over again.
So if the biology is so clear, why is this kind of flawed advice absolutely everywhere? Okay, let's zoom out and look at the system that spreads these ideas. The real problem isn't just that the advice is wrong, it's that it's dangerously incomplete. It gives you chapter 1 of the story, but conveniently leaves out the crucial biological ending.
This kind of advice thrives because it's built for the internet, not for human beings. Simple stories, like carbs are evil, are just easy to share. Social media algorithms love extreme black and white content. They don't reward nuance. For people who feel lost, these rigid rules give a comforting sense of control. And, like we saw, it works just long enough to create a powerful before and after photo, hooking you and turning you into the next person who shares it. In the online world, balance is boring. Extremes go viral.
So here it is. This is the ultimate gotcha, the final trick of the whole system. It's designed to take a fundamental structural failure of the advice itself, the fact that it's incompatible with human biology, and it transforms it into your personal feeling of shame. It was never your fault, but the entire system is built to make you believe that it was. It's a perfect business model, isn't it? Sell you the disease and then sell you the cure, over and over again.
Okay, so how do we actually break free from this cycle? It really requires a fundamental shift in how we think. Instead of searching for the next set of rules to follow, we need a totally new framework for thinking about our bodies and our health. It's about moving from a mindset of fighting our bodies to one of cooperating with them.
This right here, this is the new guiding principle. Your body doesn't get leaner or stronger or healthier when you punish it. It thrives on signals of safety, consistency, and nourishment. When your body feels safe, it doesn't feel the need to cling to every resource for dear life. Real health is achieved by working with your biology, not declaring war on it.
So how can you tell if your body is stuck in this high-stress survival mode? This little body stress audit is a great way to check in. Let's walk through it. First, your biological signals. Are you sleeping horribly? Waking up in the middle of the night? Does it take you days to recover from a workout? Those are direct signs. Next, check your nervous system. Do you have that constant wired but tired feeling? Do small problems make you feel totally overwhelmed or enraged? That's your system on high alert. And finally, listen to your metabolic feedback. Constantly craving salty, fatty foods? Are your hands and feet always cold? That is your body screaming that it's conserving energy. The key here is that these aren't signs to push harder. They are urgent signals to pull back and recover.
Once you start thinking this way, you can spot bad advice from a mile away. Just look for these red flags. Does it use words like never or always? Our bodies don't work in absolutes. Does it use moral language, calling food clean or guilty? Food is fuel, not a morality test. Does it completely ignore things like your sleep, your stress levels, or whether you can actually do this for more than a month? If it does, it's incomplete advice that's designed to go viral, not to actually help you.
So what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's this. The goal isn't to find the one perfect diet that will finally force your body into submission. The goal is to build a life that gives your body fewer reasons to fight back against you in the first place. It's about signaling safety with consistent meals, good sleep, and stress that you can actually manage.
This is such an important conversation, and honestly, we need to have it more often. So I'm really curious, have you ever felt trapped in that diet cycle? Or have you noticed any of those stress signals from the audit in your own life? Let me know down in the comments. I think it's really powerful when we realize we're not alone in this. I'll be breaking down a lot more myths just like this one to help us all figure this stuff out. Thanks so much for watching.